Hi, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today I'm going to unbox and do a little bit of an overview of Empire's End, designed by John D. Clair from Brotherwise Games. This is the Deluxe Edition, but there's not really a whole lot of difference between the Deluxe and the retail version. Interesting sort of box choice there. 2 to 4 players, 45 to 60 minutes. It's got this sort of civilization theme to it. But it's got the, what really interested me about it was, well, one, it's designed by John D. Clair, so that sounded good to me. But also it's got that sort of no thanks mechanism, reverse auction thing going on. So I was pretty interested about that. Let's see how that goes. All right, well, we got the rule book. So the objective of the game and the setup, those are all there. All right. Gameplay, we've got the different game phases. So you got your empire with all these cards and disasters, etc. can happen to them. The disaster phase is a big part of the game. In fact, it's the only part where you don't do it simultaneously, I believe. All right, and we got the economy phase. All right, the industry phase, military phase. All right, there's the end of the game. Tiebreaker, ability, glossary, and fact. That's nice. Lightning mode. All right, that's interesting. I might be interested in that. And a quick start guide on the back. All right, that's cool. All right, well, let's take a look at all these different components and see what we've got here. All right, we got a punchboard 1 of 6. All right, let's get the plastic off of this. A lot of different pieces in here since all 4 players have 11 different locations. So that means there's going to be 44 of these location tiles. I originally thought they were going to be cards, but it looks like they're nice cardboard tiles. So assuming I can ever get the plastic wrap off this thing. Don't even know why that's actually plastic wrapped together like that, but whatever. I guess I want to make sure they get the right punch boards in there. All right, so again, this is punchboard 1 of 6. And so you have 11 of these location tiles. And yeah, all right, so that's a road. And if they get destroyed, you turn it over like that. So on the back, it tells you, what the victory points would be if you repaired it, and there's the repair cost. So again, what the repair cost would be if it were destroyed. There's the victory points. It tells you which phase this actually does something. So this is economy. And this tells you what it does. This is a conversion, right? You can turn that resource into those resources. All right. So you got an army, you got a city, roads. Again, more roads. Army and a city. Wow, a city is 32 victory points. Definitely don't want to let that one get destroyed. It's also expensive to repair. Check that out. All right, you start with 2 of these towns. These towns are kind of cool in that they allow you to build these innovations at a reduced cost. So it's nice having those around and not destroyed. All right, so let's see. Punchboard 2 of 6. It's going to just be the same stuff for another player. Punchboard 3 of 6. Again, same stuff, because every player has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of these. All right, there you go. And 4 of 6, you assume that's going to be the same thing again, and it is. All right, and so let's look at Punchboard 5. Punchboard 5 has a lot of the tokens. So, I mentioned there are the different resources. There are axes, which I guess is like military, and hammers, which is industry, and wheat, which is economy. And those are nice thickness, by the way, on all these tokens. And then coins are like wild. You can spend them as anything else. So yeah, and then you've got some 5s down here, just in case somebody's got a lot of that stuff going on. And we have more of these tokens, right? All right, so it's a 5 coins, hammers, and wheat. All right. That's cool. Need all of that stuff. All right, so we've got some trays in here. This is nice. I wasn't expecting this, so I don't know if each player maybe gets one of these. Can we fit all 11 of these in there? All right, I guess I'm going to assume so. And then there's some tokens each player gets, which we haven't gotten to yet. So it looks like each player is going to get one of these. That's rather nice. Just hand somebody one of those and start the game. All right, well, let's look at the other pieces that are in here. So these are the different game markers. Everybody needs 2 of these disaster tokens. These are actually a little bit chunkier than I was expecting, so they're pretty nice. But these 2 disaster tokens, when a disaster comes out, you mark on your player area which ones could be potentially destroyed by that disaster. All right, and these are screen printed, right? So this is a deluxe edition thing. I think is that screen printing? I don't really know. Might be. I don't know. But anyway, the printing on this, I think in the regular edition, these are not printed like that. But all right, these are the exhaust tokens. So you get some abilities that get exhausted when you use them, and you have to recharge them, unexhaust them. I don't know. Oh, let's see. And then buried down in here, we have tokens for each player. And these, again, are screen printed because of the, deluxe edition. There you go. All right. So those are kind of cool. You flip them over to the plus 100 if you need to. All right. And here's the central board. All right, so this is the 3 to 4 player side. There is also, all right, this way. There's the 2 player side. So that's, the score track goes around the edge here. But essentially, there's a marker, which I guess I haven't seen yet. Maybe there's buried in here somewhere. There's a marker that goes through all the different phases. And so it tells you whether you're doing a disaster phase, an economy phase. There's some double disaster phase here. I guess if it's 4 players, it's a double, single. At 3 players, you have industry, military, etc. And then you do that all the way to the end. And at the end, the game's over. All right. Let's see what's next. All right, we got player shields. Maybe these are the things that you put down here. See, every player gets one of these, and right, so that's for your 11 cards. I guess you put that at the top, yeah, and then you put your 11 not cards, but location tiles, underneath them to reference where those go. So every player gets one of those. You get 4 of those. All right, that's nice. These are the player shields. Here we go. So there's a bit of a cheat sheet here on the back of the player shield. That's nice. You just fold those because you keep your resources secret behind you, right? So you keep these resource tokens behind that. All right, so there's 4 of those, and they have the different player color. It tells you, which corresponds to your scoring tracker. All right, so here's a bunch of the other pieces I was talking about. So there's the first player marker. Is this one, I believe, right? And this is the turn marker that goes on the board. All right, so this tells you who's the first player. You take the first player marker if you take a disaster. And I'm interested to look at some of these disasters. So we'll get to those, but these are the conflict cards or military cards, something like that. When you get to the military step on the track, you simultaneously bid some resources. And so you look at this, like if you bid 2 or less, you're going to lose 3 points. If you bid 5 to 8, you're going to get 5 points to coin. If you bid 9 or more, you're going to get 10 points and 2 coins. And if you bid the most, in addition to that, or tied for the most, you're going to get 4 more points and a coin in addition to whatever else. And then there's something down here that happens to all the people who bid the least. Or maybe everybody who bid and didn't win, I think. I think everybody who didn't win, this happens to. So, there's a deck of these. And they come up, whenever you get to the military section of the track. So those are pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at some of these. All right, so these are the disaster cards. Let me get this open here. It seems like there's a decent amount of these disaster cards, so that's good. The disaster cards are also innovation cards. You'll get some of these at the beginning of the game, so you can add innovations. I guess I can show that with one of these tiles. So you have these cards, and there's the back to them. And then Here's the disaster. So there's a revolt. All right. And it's going to, I think that means it's going to destroy location 1, right? And then this means you could avoid it by bidding wheat or axes in any combination. So, if it's your turn to sort of avoid a disaster, you have to put one of those types of resources on this. Then it goes to the next person who puts one on it, and it keeps going around until somebody says, "You know what? I'm not gonna put anything on there. I'm just gonna take this," and it would destroy location 1, I think, and you get all the resources that are on there. And you also get this as a card. You start with some of these at the beginning of the game, and you can build it as a innovation, right? So when you build an innovation, you just slide it under a thing. And as long as that thing isn't destroyed, if a thing is destroyed, this is no longer active, but it stays there because you can, reactivate it by repairing it or whatever. And then this would give you an extra, military symbol for, when you get to one of those conflict or military cards. All right, so let's look at some of the other ones here. So we had some military ones. We have revolt ones, and they just affect 1 through 6. Well, there's maybe some more in here. Yeah, there's a 9, etc. These ones actually seem to give you in-game scoring. Points for your number of axes. All right, that's cool. Some of these actually up here will say that they cost more to build when you build an innovation. All right, so there's some floods. All right, we've got some different floods going on there. All right, and I guess I'll just go ahead and open these. Here's one of those cards that I talked about with exhausting, right? You do this thing, which is, I don't know, maybe avoiding disasters that require food, and then you put a token on it to say that it's exhausted. And then there are other cards that sort of unexhaust when that happens. So let's go ahead and look at through these. We'll get through all these real quick. All right, so that's some famine cards. All right, in-game scoring on those. All right, and what else do we have besides famine? We have barbarians. All right, barbarians. Some of these cards, they switch locations of the stuff in your city. Everybody starts with the same tiles in the same slot, but then various things can affect that. So, wow, this one actually, this one, does that mean it costs more? A double? I don't know. I'm not quite sure of the iconography. But yeah, some of them had an arrow and some of them have one hammer. And so that one had 2 hammers. So yeah, I think so. But yeah, interesting. Barbarian disasters. Repeat one other economy ability you have. All right, well, that's cool. All right, let's get 2 more of these piles. Let's get these open. What else do we have in here? All right, I really wish this game actually went to more than 4 players, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I will think that 4 is plenty after I actually get it to the table, but it seems like there's a lot of simultaneous play. So maybe it's just a component thing. Maybe they will come out with, to add some expansion that adds 2 players. All right, so we had a plague. Now we got an earthquake. I don't know what that is, but that looks bad. All right. Rotate all? I don't know. Some kind of disaster. Get a disaster, it gives you 3 something? I'm not sure. But these innovations are supposed to be positive, so whatever that is at the bottom is supposed to be positive. All right. And I mean, you're going to have to take a disaster at some point, right? I mean, I would assume that you can't just generate enough resources to avoid disasters or have opponents let you avoid all your disasters. It seems like that would be disastrous for them. All right. All right, so there's fire. Okay. What is that? Adjacent locations cost 1 less to repair. Okay. Yeah, so some of these are related to adjacency. And also, like, if you're going to destroy location 5 and location 5 is already destroyed, then you have to destroy location 4 or 6 instead. If they're already destroyed, you got to pick another one next to it. So it's not like you could just get away with destroying not destroying something because something has already been destroyed. So, they thought of that strategy anyway. Blight. All right. Blight's got some economy and in-game stuff going on. All right. All right. There you go. Seems like a pretty well thought out insert. I really liked this. I think that's going to make it a lot easier to set up. You just pass these out to each player. For fun, let's just look and see if there's anything under here. I doubt there is. Sometimes you can find like promo cards and stuff under there. So I like to check when I remember. But anyway, there you go. That is Empire's End. Looking forward to getting this to the table. If you have any questions about it, you can go ahead and ask in the comments here in the YouTube video, or if you look in the description down below, I got a link to a Discord channel. We love talking about board games over there. So come visit us over there. But until the next time, thanks for joining me.